Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm thrilled that you're here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. I want to share with you all my favorite coffee drink in the world, and I do not have to go through a drive-through to get it. I get asked a lot what is in my glass. So for my YouTube peeps, as you can see, I have a tall glass tumbler filled with iced coffee and topped with some cream. So I'm just going to share this because we just recently went to the beach and I made sure that my cooler had at least 2 of my favorite store-bought cold brew, but I didn't fear because I knew if I ran out, I could get this at any grocery. I went once to a coffee shop just because, we were out. Everyone else wanted coffee. And this was a local coffee shop on 38, very popular. I got a coffee drink there that I thought, I could mimic my cold brew. And it just, to me, was not the same. I have mastered creating this the way I like it. I think some of you who maybe have similar tastes might like it as well. So I just thought that I would share it because there's some very specific things that I think make it taste so yummy. And if you're a cold brew person and you make this at home, I do at least one of these a day. So guilty confession, sometimes I do 2. But if I were to get a cold brew, and this would be a grande size, because I think this tumbler, which I'm going to link to everything that you can purchase online, and I can tell you where to get some of the other things at the grocery store. But I believe that it would be $60 to $70 a week if I just got one a day. My math may not be quite accurate, but that's close. So I'm just going to tell you how I make it from start to finish. Okay, first we'll start with the cold brew. And guys, I have tried making my own cold brew. It's not difficult. Honestly, that is something that I just decided I'm not going to spend time on because I found one that I love. And it's at Publix, it's at Fresh Market. I think it's probably at almost any grocery store. It's at Walmart and Target. So I think this is everywhere. But this is my favorite, and I have tried them all. This is Stoke, and it's S-T-O-K, and there's the long vowel symbol over the O, which tells you it's pronounced Stoke. Stoke cold brew coffee, and there are several that Stoke makes. This one, I always just grab the green. So the green is the bold and smooth, unsweetened black. So this is my favorite, and it's low and slow 10-hour brew. Now, I want to tell you one thing about Stoke. I like this because there's no taste of chicory or anything that is going to overpower the things that you add, your accoutrements that make it, whether you're caramel or peppermint mocha. Some of the coffees, especially Busy Brew. I do not like Busy Brew, B-I-Z-Z-Y. And I hate to say anything negative, but I just felt like all I tasted was this strong coffee. This Stoke, it's a bold, smooth, it's just perfect to me, cold brew. Another thing I want to say about this, I compared caffeine amounts. I compared Stoke to, I believe, Busy, and then there were several others. This one has the lowest caffeine, at least that I have found. I don't believe Starbucks cold brew has theirs listed, but I drink my cold brew after lunch, typically, or around 11. And then if I drink another one, I don't want to be buzzing around, hopping around all day on caffeine. So I am very glad that the Stoke is one on the lower side. So I'm going to look right now. This has, for 12 ounces, approximately 125 milligrams of caffeine, whereas some of the others that I looked at had over 200, like 235. This is a significant thing if you don't want to, be hyped up on as much caffeine, but still get a little bit and get the flavor. Okay, so we have the cold brew that I love, that is Stoke. Now, this is one thing This is a sweetener that I'm so obsessed with that I've got 2 or 3 in my console of my car, 1 in my purse. I carried them on our trip to Florida recently. This is hands down the best liquid sweetener I've ever had in my life. You can't get this. Okay, this is whole earth stevia leaf and monk fruit. So it's a plant-based liquid sweetener. You can get whole earth like granulated, like in big bags. I tried making a sugar syrup out of that to put in my drinks because I do not put any kind of granulated anything in cold drinks because it's just going to clump. I tried to make the simple syrup out of the granulated whole earth and it crystallized and it was useless. So I found that they had the liquid, but I can only find this online. So I will link to it. I order this, the last order, I think I ordered 42, but there's only 1.62 fluid ounces. And I put this in my tea. When I make tea, I put probably half a bottle of this in the tea and it tastes just like sweet tea. I put this in all of my coffee drinks, all of my beverages that I want to sweeten. There are no preservatives, artificial colors, or flavors, and I love it. This tall glass tumbler, I'm very particular about my cold brew being in glass. I do not like acrylic containers. They might look good in the beginning, but they're going to scratch. And if you put them in the dishwasher, they sort of get cloudy or they're not as crystal clear over time. So glass to me is the best. I've tried everything to find this anywhere other than Williams Sonoma, and I can't. I think this must be exclusive to them. But the good thing is, once you buy these, it comes with a lid, which you need the lid. I'll get to that. But I have found lids that you can use if you lose your lids, because I was about to buy more of these at Williams Sonoma because I only had 1 lid left and half the time it was in the dishwasher, but I found some replacement lids. So now I'm just going to be able to reuse. I think I have 3 of these glass tumblers. And now I have replacement lids. You only use the lid to shake your coffee, which I'll get to in a second. But this is, I believe, a 24-ounce capacity. And I fill it up maybe 2/3 of the way with ice. Then I fill, and my YouTube friends can see this, my podcast friends, I hope that you can understand this, but it's simple. Load it with ice, not all the way to the top, but almost. Then fill the cold brew up to, there's like a little line, there's these ridges, and where they stop, it's about 1 inch from the top. That's where I stop with the cold brew. Then I add my creamer. So we have the plant-based sweetener and unsweet coffee. So far there are no calories. I add creamer. I also have coffee syrup and I have sweet and unsweet coffee syrup. This is what I've been defaulting to lately. This is one of the healthier creamers. It is Chobani coffee creamer. And it has real cream, cane sugar, Dutch cocoa, and natural flavors. So it only has like 3 or 4 ingredients based upon probably the flavor. I allow myself 2 tablespoons max, but today, as you can see in what I have now, I did 1 tablespoon and it's perfect. So in 1 tablespoon of this creamer, this is white chocolate mocha. There is 1.5 gram of fat, 5 carbs, and 5 grams of sugar. And of course, no protein. That's not bad. If you went to Starbucks and you got, their pumps, unless you got sugar-free, it would probably far exceed the sugar in this. Okay, so I'm not quite through. I've got 1 more step before we finish making this. I love to put this President French style gourmet whipped cream, extra creamy. It's in this squirt can, but it is nothing but heavy cream, sugar, skim milk, no corn syrup. It's so good. So I squirt, let's see, 2 tablespoons, has 20 calories, 2 grams of fat, 1 carb, 1 sugar. So minimal. It's adding minimal sugar, fat. And that's for 2 tablespoons. I squirt it all over the top, which is probably 2 tablespoons. And then here's where I think this is what I think makes this coffee so outstanding. I have all that together. Then I put the lid on and I shake, shake, shake the cold brew. Now, as you can see, my YouTube friends, this whipped cream, it sort of clumps a little. It will go through the coffee to some degree, but it's not smooth like a creamer. So that does not bother me. I do it for the taste. I also have, instead of using this, I've used cold foam. It goes all the way through. It's more of a drippy, more of a liquidy consistency than this. This is more of like a whipped cream consistency, but either of those is going to add a little more sweet and a little fat. And guys, you have to have fat in your iced coffee if you want the maximal taste and mouthfeel. That just makes it better. So I never use skim milk or 2%. Sometimes I will even add a touch of heavy whipping cream. And then we've got the cream that's in the creamer. And then I finish with either the squirt whipped cream or the cold foam, and then shake it. And I shake it very, very, very well. When you take the lid off and you taste that, it is creamy, smooth, so yummy. And they're not, I mean, I guess you can get them to shake things at Starbucks or whatever, but it's not this configuration of ingredients. And I don't know that they typically shake cold brew. So I think this is a unique recipe or concoction that I just love so much. I wanted to share it with you. So shaking it is important. And I think these specific ingredients just make it really, really yummy. I'm going to link to everything. I'm going to link to the glass. I'll link to the replacement lids, and I'll link to all these ingredients. And guys, if you try this, please let me know. Email me and let me know. Now, I'm going to have a little confession here. My absolute favorite creamer, and it is in the fridge, but I'm trying to not use it as much because my dear friend, Mel's Healthy Meals, she's been on the podcast several times. I love and appreciate her so much. I don't know why I love it so much, but I love it, but it is not optimal as far as nutrition. But this is the Coffee Mate Peppermint Mocha. And this is a seasonal, but I found it and I find it every time I go to Walmart. So I put something on my Instagram because I hadn't seen it in a long time, even at Walmart, once it started getting close to spring. But I showed all of my stash. I bought several, put it on my story with the yippee emojis. And my friend Mel DM'd me and she said, Jamie, that's so unhealthy. So I know it is because it has a lot of soybean oil. First ingredient is sugar. But for a guilty indulgence, I do this every now and then, and I try to eat right the rest of the day. So that is one that I love. But Coffee Mate is not the healthiest of all the creamer options. I would say Chobani would be the healthiest. That's it, guys. That's my coffee spiel. And again, let me hear from you if you make this or if you have any fabulous coffee creations that you would like to share. Okay, I so appreciate all of you. And until next time, you have a fabulous rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SavvyCast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.